thank you so much for joining us on Local on 2. And it's the day before Halloween, so parents, make sure to get the candy and those costumes ready. I'm Laura Schweizer.
And I'm Stephanie Langston. We love, of course, to celebrate the season. Today we have great guest, a powerful story, and our friend Joe Breezy is putting us to the test with a special Halloween challenge. But first, he has written songs for artists you love, like Chesney, Keith Urban, and Blake Shelton, just to name a few. Plus, he also made us smile with Uncle Cracker.
Woo! Do not adjust your televisions. I'm really dressed like this.
Yes.
Nashville, what's happening? What's happening?
Yes.
Sweep the leg, sweep the leg. All right, all right. Woo!
Not only did he put his talents to page, but they are also on stage now in a whole new light.
Oh my gosh, JT Harding is here to celebrate some incredible projects. Welcome into the set.
Hello.
We love
I'm
having
like
you.
a hummingbird on Red Bull. I'm so excited. Thanks for having me.
Oh my gosh, I would not put it any other way. Okay, we need to talk about this fabulous musical that it's about to premiere for the world to see in November.
Yes.
It's called Music City. Tell us how it all kind of came about.
Yes, Music City is a musical that opened in New York one day ago, so it's in previews now. It's about songwriters trying to make it in Nashville. It's current, it's edgy, and the cast are unreal. My friend Peter Zinn, who I knew in 8th grade, wrote the story. It has all my songs that I've written for Blake Shelton and Kenny Chesney and Keith Urban. I wrote Somewhere in My Car with him. The cast will break and heal your heart at the same time. They're unreal. The cast is also the band. There's not a band under the stage, or there's not a computer up there. The band play the mandolin, the drums, the piano, the bass, the pedal steel, but they're also acting all the roles. So when you're there at this theater above a church in Manhattan, you think you're in a honky-tonk. And I can't wait for everyone to see it. I just kind of watch it all happen. Eric Tucker is the director, and when I watch him, it's like watching George Lucas put together Star Wars. And I'm just so grateful that Peter Zinn did so much hard work, and you can get tickets. There's a link at my Instagram, or the theater is called Bedlam, bedlam.org, and I'm just really excited for everyone to see it. Get some tickets to New York City over the holidays. After you see Terry Clark at Opryland, get to New York. People, it's happening, it's happening.
Yes,
yeah.
And this was all inspired.
Nice shoes, by the way.
Oh, look at us.
Wonder Twin Powers form of a morning show.
Yes.
Okay.
We're filling the chrome today. All right, so this was all inspired after a trip you took to Afghanistan. And if I'm not mistaken, we might actually recognize some of these characters because they're very real to life with these people here in the streets of Music City.
Absolutely. I had the incredible honor to go to the Middle East to perform my songs for troops over there. It was humbling. It was an honor. I wrote a song about the soldiers called How Did I Get Here? And Peter Zinn heard that. I hadn't seen him since 8th grade. And he heard that at a party, and the musical was inspired by this song. And you said it best, Steph in the city. You will recognize the characters. Peter spends so much time in Nashville. Stephen Michael Spencer and Casey Schuler, who star in the musical, are both songwriters that spend a lot of time here. And it's just, I just said to everyone, it has to be authentic. It can't be a silly musical. I'm not going to be embarrassed because I love Nashville. Country fans are smart. Country songwriters are smart. And that's about it, yeah. And thank you to the soldiers for your service.
Ooh, yes, well said. Thank you.
Woo.
You know who's also smart is you. When you first moved out to LA, before, all this big success, I hear that you borrowed a FedEx jacket, put it on, put your record into everyone's mailbox.
Yes. Let's hear it for mail fraud, everybody. So the internet had not kicked in. It's the late 19, whatever that's called. It was the early 2000s. I couldn't get into any record companies. So my roommate had a girlfriend who worked at FedEx, so I borrowed the FedEx jacket, loaded a bag up with my CDs, because I could not email anyone a song. And I walked in with the FedEx jacket, and every secretary and every promo guy chewing on a golf tee, I was like, hey, good morning. And I just put my CD in every mailbox. And if you think that didn't get me noticed, guess again, the cops were after me for weeks. weeks. But someone actually heard it and said, hey, your songs are really catchy. Do you have any more? And that's the little spark that you need to keep going to all the songwriters out there. You're always going to find someone that just gives you a little bit of encouragement, and it kept me going. And I was so naive that I could get a record deal that way, that I actually got a record deal, and that record deal fell through, but it led me to Nashville.
But you also say you wish you had something like this book
yes.
at that time.
Time for a commercial. This is my best-selling book, Party Like a Rock Star. I wish I had this book when I was trying to become a songwriter, because there isn't a roadmap anywhere. And everything I've learned, and thanks to the music business, my heart has been broken more than the ice cream machine in Green Hills McDonald's. But anyway, everything I've learned, this book, I'll tell you how my friend Josh Osborne and I wrote Sangria for Blake Shelton, how Shane McAnally and I got Somewhere With You to Kenny Chesney. I actually met Keith Urban in a bathroom, true story, and it's all right here in Party Like a Rock Star.
Lots of good guidance for songwriters out there. It also chronicles your life, which dates back to you being adopted at a young age. And I know you've shared this story with others before, but share it with our audience, if you will, about this billboard that was outside your apartment in LA, to only find out it was your biological father on the billboard, Jay Thomas, the actor and comedian.
Yes, I was born at Vanderbilt, and I won the lottery of life. I was adopted at birth by my parents, the Hardings, Larry and Kendra Harding. And then years later, I moved to LA, and I found out that my biological father, through a crazy circumstance, which is in the book, was an actor named Jay Thomas. And if you're saying who, well, he was on Cheers. He threw the football at the meatball every year on David Letterman. So I'm living on the most unglamorous corner of Hollywood with like 10 roommates, bed bugs, you name it. I found out Jay Thomas was my father, and there was a giant billboard on the side of a building. Jay was competing with Howard Stern coast to coast, and so the radio was getting really offensive, and there was a huge billboard that said, Power 106 FM, we apologize to Jay Thomas. I passed that billboard every day for a year going to work at Tower Records. It's so phenomenal. It's like a bad movie that Jay could have starred in on the Hallmark Channel. But it's all true. And once again, I'm very lucky. Adoption, I wouldn't be where I am without the Hardings. They encouraged me to be myself, to wear crazy clothes. My dad coached at Vanderbilt. My mom was president of Little League. I was an MTV junkie trapped in an episode of SportsCenter. But they encouraged me, and anything talented or special in me is from my parents, Larry and Kendra Harding, and my brother Lance. That's it, right there.
You are no doubt special. Thank you for sharing it all with us. You're so much fun.
Woo! Nashville, stay tuned for more excitement.
Yes, exactly. And check out Party Like a Rock Star.
Believe it or not, I'm walking on it. I never thought I would feel so free.
City on Broadway.
Come on, Terry, let's dance.
Joining us. Oh my gosh. And that's what it's like having JT Harding on set.